Ladies and gentlemen, imagine standing in front of a mirror, and for the first time you look at yourself and truly see the person staring back. Not the doubts, not the insecurities, not the masks you wear for others, just you. All your flaws, your strengths, your beauty, everything. In that moment, something changes. You realize that you are more than enough, just as you are. Now imagine walking into any room with that same feeling, radiating a confidence so magnetic, so undeniable, that every eye in the room is drawn to you, not because you're performing, not because you're seeking attention, but because you're standing in your power. That, my friend, is the magic of self, worth asterisk. Here's the catch, though. Many people spend years, decades even, chasing validation from the outside world. We seek approval, love, and attention, hoping that someone else will tell us we're enough. But here's the truth. As long as you rely on someone else to fill that void, it will never be enough. This endless cycle of seeking approval and recognition is exhausting, it's draining, and it's a trap. But there's a secret weapon you can wield that will not only transform the way you see yourself, but will also change the way others see you. What if I told you that the secret to a relationship where passion, attraction, and depth thrive doesn't start with your partner, it starts with you? When you finally look at yourself and recognize your own worth, you stop chasing after fleeting moments of affection and approval. You stop waiting for someone else to tell you you're worthy. And when you stop seeking that external validation, something powerful happens. You begin to become the kind of person that others can't help but be drawn to. The kind of person who makes heads turn without lifting a finger. But how do you get to this place? How do you reach this point of complete emotional autonomy and strength? It starts with a decision to stop looking outside for what only you can give yourself. The truth is, many of us spend so much time focusing on how we can make someone else happy that we forget about the most important person in the equation, ourselves. We put so much energy into giving that we forget the importance of receiving. Now, let's think about relationships. Have you ever felt that spark when someone walks into a room and you feel this magnetic energy? It's like you can't stop staring. You can't stop wondering what it would be like to be close to them. But what if I told you that energy is not about how they look? It's about how they feel about themselves. When someone knows their worth, when they stand firm in their value, they radiate a certain energy that you can't help but gravitate toward. It's not about trying to impress anyone. It's about simply being confident in your own skin, knowing you deserve the best of everything, and not accepting anything less. This energy isn't about pretending to be someone you're not, or performing to meet someone else's expectations. It's about being unapologetically yourself, flaws and all. It's about standing in your truth and saying, I am enough. When you believe this at your core, there is nothing more attractive. People can sense it, they feel it. And that's the moment they want to be near you. They want to be a part of your world because your confidence makes them feel alive. But the real test of this self-worth comes when you're faced with rejection or criticism. How do you respond when things don't go as planned, when someone pulls away or doesn't give you the validation you want? Do you collapse? Do you feel less than? Or do you stand tall, knowing that no one's actions can take away from your inherent worth? When you're truly aligned with your self-worth, you stop relying on the external world for validation. You stop letting rejection define your self-esteem. Instead, you remain grounded in the fact that you are the one who holds the power. The power to define who you are, to create your own worth, and to attract what you deserve. And here's the beauty of it. When you exude this kind of confidence, when you stand in your own value, you become irresistible. Not because you're trying to be, simply because you are. The energy you emit is so potent, so magnetic, that others are drawn to you. They want to be close to you because you make them feel better about themselves. You make them feel seen, appreciated, and understood. This is what makes you not only desirable, but also irreplaceable. Self-worth isn't something that can be faked, nor can it be bought. It's an internal state of being that you build moment by moment through self-love, self-care, and self-respect. It's not something you find in someone else's eyes. It's something that you must create within yourself first. When you learn to embrace and love yourself fully, you unlock a power that will not only change how you see yourself, but will change how the world sees you. So the next time you find yourself wondering why someone is so attracted to someone else, ask yourself this: are they truly attracted to the other person's looks, or are they drawn to the energy, the confidence, the knowingness that this person brings to the table? And then take a deep breath and remind yourself that you have that same power within you. Because once you master this, once you stand in your worth and refuse to accept anything less, you'll find that you no longer have to chase anyone. They will come to you seeking what you already have inside of you: confidence, love, and the magnetic force of self-worth. There's a certain power in staying grounded when the world feels like it's shaking beneath your feet. It's like a silent force that holds everything together, even when it seems like everything is falling apart. Imagine being in the middle of a storm, winds howling, clouds darkening, yet you stand firm, untouched, unshaken. The storm might rage, but you remain. That's the beauty of emotional resilience. It's not just about surviving the tough times. It's about emerging from them stronger, more magnetic, more irresistible than ever. Now think about the people around you. How many of them do you see crumble when faced with challenges? How many people do you know who retreat into themselves, become withdrawn, or simply lose their spark when things get hard? Emotional instability has a way of draining the energy in a room. It creates a space that feels unsafe, uncertain. But when you are emotionally resilient, when you can stand tall even in the face of adversity, you create something far more powerful, an aura of safety and strength that others can't help but want to be around. This isn't just about holding things together when life gets tough. It's about becoming the kind of person who is a safe harbor for others. Think about how attractive that is. To have someone who is so grounded, so unwavering, that they provide a sense of calm, even when everything else feels chaotic. People are naturally drawn to this kind of energy. In love, in relationships, it's the emotional anchor that keeps everything steady. No matter the ups and downs, that person remains a constant source of stability and strength. But how do you cultivate this? How do you tap into emotional resilience? The first step is learning to let go of the need for immediate gratification. So many of us are conditioned to want things now, a feel-good now, to fix problems immediately, to have our needs met instantly. But real emotional strength is built through patience, through enduring discomfort, through accepting that some things take time to resolve. And while the world around you may demand instant results, true emotional power comes from your ability to remain calm in the face of pressure. Think about it. In relationships, when there's a problem or conflict, how do you react? Do you panic? Do you shut down, run away, or lash out? Or do you breathe, center yourself, and stay in the moment, knowing that this challenge is just another wave to ride, another obstacle to overcome? Emotional resilience doesn't mean you never feel upset or hurt. It means you don't allow those emotions to control you. You feel, you experience, but you don't let the emotions dictate your actions. Instead, you rise above them, using the power of your calm and presence to navigate through. When you embody emotional resilience, you create a relationship dynamic that is based on mutual respect and security. Your partner feels safe with you. They know that no matter what happens, whether life throws its hardest punches or the winds of uncertainty start to blow, you'll be there, grounded, unwavering. That kind of emotional steadiness is magnetic. It creates a deep trust and intimacy that goes beyond the physical. It's the kind of connection that binds two people together on a soul, deep level, and let's be real asterisk, that asterisk kind of bond isn't easily broken. Now, let's talk about what happens when you're the one who becomes emotionally resilient in the face of uncertainty. People start to see you differently. You stop being just another face in the crowd. You become asterisk, the one asterisk they want to be around. That's because emotional resilience is incredibly rare. Most people operate from a place of emotional fragility. They are like a leaf in the wind, carried by every storm. But when you stand strong, rooted in your own emotional stability, you send out an energy that says, I can handle anything and I've got you too. This isn't a forceful energy, it's a quiet strength that draws people in. It's the kind of energy that leaves a lasting impression. In love, we often hear that we need to give more love, more attention, more affection. But emotional resilience means being able to asterisk, hold space asterisk for your partner, to offer them the calm they need when their world is falling apart. It's not about fixing their problems, it's about being the calm in their storm, the one they can lean on when the weight of the world gets too heavy. And that kind of stability doesn't just keep a relationship intact, it deepens it. When you are emotionally resilient, your relationship transforms. It becomes more than just about the day-to-day interactions or the highs and lows. It becomes about building a deeper bond, a stronger connection. You start to communicate on a level that doesn't just address the surface issues but delves into the heart of the matter. You become more than partners, you become true allies, standing together against life's challenges. And let's not forget how this impacts attraction. There's an undeniable pull when you remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. Think about it. When was the last time you were drawn to someone because they were emotionally fragile? But when someone exudes strength, stability, and resilience, it's impossible not to be captivated. Their presence becomes magnetic, their energy intoxicating. They don't have to do anything to make you stay. They simply asterisk are asterisk. And in love, in the deepest connection, that's all it takes. So, let this sink in. Emotional resilience is not a weakness. It's not a defense mechanism. It's a power that draws people in, keeps relationships secure, and makes you the person others can't help but want to stay close to. It's a quiet, steady strength that holds everything together when everything else seems to fall apart. And once you master this, once you embody emotional resilience, you won't just weather the storms of life, you'll shine brighter than ever before. There is a profound allure in someone who understands the power of asterisk presence asterisk. It's a quality that captivates without a single word, drawing people closer with an invisible, almost magnetic energy. Imagine being in a room with someone who doesn't need to speak to capture your attention. They simply asterisk are asterisk. Every move they make is deliberate. Every glance feels charged with meaning. Their very presence commands respect, admiration, and desire. But what's the secret behind this intoxicating force? It's the ability to be fully present in the moment, to be so engaged in the experience that nothing else matters. When you master the art of presence, it transforms everything about how you relate to others. It shifts the energy of the room and draws people to you, almost like moths to a flame. But here's the twist. This level of attention doesn't come from trying to impress or perform. It comes from a deep understanding of asterisk, yourself asterisk. It's the realization that you don't need to chase attention. when you are fully engaged in the moment, when you are completely aware of the energy you bring to a space, people will naturally gravitate toward you. Think about a relationship dynamic where one person is constantly seeking validation, checking their phone, or trying to win their partner's approval. The energy is all over the place. There's no steadiness, no grounding. The relationship feels shaky, uncertain. But when both partners are truly present with each other, listening, feeling, experiencing, the bond becomes something far more powerful. It's not just about words or actions. It's about a shared connection in the present moment. It's about being their asterisk for each other, without distractions, without needing anything more than the intimacy of the moment itself. But how does one achieve this level of presence? It's not about putting on a show. It's not about being someone you're not. It's about tapping into the deepest parts of yourself and being unapologetically you asterisk. When you are authentic, when you own your own energy and emotions, the need for validation fades. You no longer have to prove yourself to anyone because you already know your worth, and this energy is irresistible. Presence isn't just about being physically there, it's about being emotionally and mentally engaged. Think about the most intense moments in a relationship. When was the last time you felt deeply connected to your partner? It wasn't because they were trying to impress you, wasn't it? It was when they were fully engaged with you, when they were asterisk with asterisk you in every moment, not distracted by outside worries or concerns. That's the magic of being truly present. It's the energy of being so in tune with the moment that everything else fades into the background. This kind of presence is incredibly magnetic. It makes you irresistible asterisk. Why? Because when you're present, when you're truly focused on the person in front of you, they feel seen, heard, understood. It's a level of attention that is intoxicating. When you listen intently, when you engage deeply, you become the person others are drawn to. In a world full of distractions, true presence is rare, and that rarity is what makes it so desirable. Now, think about how this translates into a relationship. When both partners are fully engaged with one another, when they are both present, something magical happens, intimacy deepens. It's not just about physical closeness, it's about emotional closeness. When you can truly feel your partner, when you can connect with them in ways that go beyond the superficial, the bond becomes unbreakable. The connection is grounded in a shared presence, not in fleeting moments of desire, but in a constant, unwavering connection that transcends words. Imagine the depth of intimacy that comes from simply being their asterisk, with nothing to prove, no expectations, just an open, receptive connection. It's a dance that flows effortlessly, a rhythm that exists between two people who understand the power of presence. And this kind of connection doesn't fade, it intensifies. The more you are present, the more you experience together, the deeper the bond becomes. It's in the silence, the moments where words are unnecessary, that the true connection is forged. But presence isn't just about how you interact with others. It's also about how you interact with yourself. It's about being fully aware of your own needs, desires, and emotions. It's about taking time to be present with yourself, to understand your own heart and mind. When you are in tune with yourself, when you can sit with your own thoughts without distraction, you become even more magnetic to others, because that same depth and awareness you bring to yourself, you can bring to others. It's like a secret weapon in relationships. You don't need to chase after validation. You don't need to perform to gain affection. All you need is the power of presence and when you embody that energy, others will follow. They will feel the pull, the magnetic force that comes from someone who is completely present with them, someone who is fully engaged, fully alive in the moment. This level of attention isn't just appreciated, it's desired. People crave it, they long for it. To be with someone who is truly present is a gift. a rare treasure that many will never experience. And once you've mastered this, once you've unlocked the power of presence, you will find that it transforms everything about how you experience love and connection. No longer will you feel the need to chase. You will simply be asterisk, and that in itself will be more than enough to keep them coming back for more. It's a quiet yet undeniably powerful force, one that starts from within but sends ripples outward, affecting everything and everyone around you. The energy of self-respect is magnetic, something that others cannot ignore. It's not something you assert through words or demands. It's an invisible presence that permeates the room. This energy doesn't just call attention, it demands it. But why? Because self-respect is rare, and those who possess it are like a beacon, attracting those who truly understand its depth. Think about it. How many people do you know who have mastered the art of self-respect? Those individuals who don't apologize for their worth, who stand tall in their own truth, and who aren't swayed by the opinions or judgments of others. These people carry a weight of dignity that no one can shake. When they walk into a room, there's an energy that follows them, an unspoken acknowledgement that they are someone of value, someone who has earned the right to be treated with the highest regard. This isn't arrogance. It's the confidence that comes from understanding one's own worth. Now, ask yourself, how often do you settle for less than you deserve? How often do you let someone treat you in a way that leaves you feeling small or unimportant? The truth is, we all have moments where we compromise, where we allow our boundaries to be blurred for the sake of keeping the peace or avoiding confrontation. But here's the kicker. When you fail to demand respect for yourself, when you don't stand firm in your own boundaries, you're sending a message that you don't value you yourself as much as others should. This isn't an energy that will keep someone invested in the long term. In fact, it will drive them away. They might not even know why, but they'll sense the lack of self-respect and subconsciously begin to pull back. But what happens when you stand in your own power, when you set clear boundaries, when you say no? And it, when you refuse to settle for anything less than what you know you deserve. You start to create a dynamic where respect flows both ways. The more you respect yourself, the more others are forced to respect you. It's the law of energy, the principle of attraction. When you hold yourself to the highest standard, others will rise to meet you at that level. Imagine the transformation in your relationship when you stop chasing validation, when you stop allowing anyone to treat you like an afterthought. Instead, you become the one who commands attention without lifting a finger. You don't need to beg for affection. You don't need to plead for commitment. Your self-respect becomes the foundation upon which everything else is built. And when someone tries to test your boundaries or challenge your worth, you remain unshaken. You don't engage in petty power struggles because you know your value. You've mastered the art of self-respect, and that in itself is more powerful than any argument, any fight for dominance. But let's get deeper, because self-respect isn't just about standing your ground in difficult moments. It's about how you treat yourself when no one is watching. When you care for your body, when you nourish your soul, when you choose to spend time with people who uplift you and distance yourself from those who bring negativity into your life, you're reaffirming your own worth. You're setting the tone for how others should treat you. You're sending out the message that you won't settle for toxicity or anything that diminishes your peace of mind. In a relationship, this energy becomes even more powerful. When you respect yourself, you set the stage for mutual respect. You don't let someone walk over you, but you also don't walk over them. It's a partnership built on equality and understanding. Each person brings their best self into the relationship, and each person knows that they are worthy of the other's love and respect. There's no chasing, no begging for affection or validation. It's a dance of mutual admiration and trust. And that's where the magic happens, the kind of connection that can't be broken by small misunderstandings or fleeting disagreements. It's grounded in the deep, unwavering belief that both parties are worthy, and they both know it. This is where the intrigue lies, when you stop seeking approval and instead focus on your own sense of self, worth. The dynamics of attraction shift. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be flawless. But what you need is a profound belief in your own value. You need to believe deep in your core that you are worthy of the very best. Because here's the reality: when you treat yourself like a queen or king, others can't help but do the same. And that respect, that acknowledgement of your worth, becomes the very foundation of your connection with them. Self-respect also carries with it an irresistible magnetism. People want to be around those who exude self-assurance, who don't flinch in the face of criticism or judgment. They want to be near those who show that they don't need anyone's approval to thrive. It creates an aura of independence and strength, and that is a power that cannot be mimicked. It's real, it's authentic, and it draws people in like nothing else can. They may not even understand it at first, but they will feel the pull. They will want to be a part of that energy. And here's the kicker: the moment you start to demand the respect you deserve, you begin to see the world shift around you. People start to treat you differently, and relationships evolve in ways you never imagined. What once seemed like a struggle for validation or love becomes a harmonious, effortless exchange. You attract those who are on the same wavelength, those who can match your energy, respect your boundaries, and appreciate you for exactly who you are. But it all starts with you. It begins with the moment you stop settling, stop doubting, and stop accepting anything less than the absolute best. When you do that, you set into motion a chain of events that will transform your relationships in ways you never thought possible. Self-respect isn't just a choice, it's a lifestyle, a foundation that holds everything else together. And once you truly master it, you'll find that no one can ever take your power away. It's in those quiet moments, when you least expect it, that you begin to sense the power you hold in your hands. A power that's not obvious at first glance, but is undeniable once you recognize it. You don't need to demand attention, beg for validation, or exhaust yourself chasing after affection. The key to it all is something far more subtle, but infinitely more powerful, ***, understanding your worth and embracing your individuality, ***. This is where the magic lies, where everything you desire in a relationship begins to shift. Imagine for a moment you're no longer the one who has to prove anything. The energy you exude is not one of need or desperation. It's quiet, it's confident, and it doesn't beg for attention. Instead, it draws people in. The right people, those who see your value not just on the surface, but deep within. It's a mystery, isn't it? How people can sense this shift in you before you even say a word, and yet there it is. It's as if the moment you stop seeking out approval and start simply being yourself, you start to attract what you truly deserve. Now, let's think about this for a second. When you no longer need to prove your worth, when you finally let go of the need for constant affirmation, the dynamic of the relationship changes. You stop focusing on what the other person thinks about you and shift the focus back to yourself. And that's where the shift begins. It's in the self-assurance that only comes when you truly understand your worth. This isn't about arrogance. It's about knowing exactly who you are and standing tall in that truth. The most powerful thing you can do in any relationship is to never lose sight of who you are. You don't need to mold yourself into someone you're not in order to be loved. In fact, the more authentic you become, the more attractive you are to the right person. They're drawn to you because of the way you hold your own, because of the energy you project, because of the way you value yourself. They want to be around you not because they have to, but because they are compelled to. Your energy is irresistible. They're not looking for someone to fix them. They're looking for someone who already knows they're enough. And let's talk about attraction for a moment. It's not just about physical appearance. Of course, there's an undeniable spark when two people share chemistry, but the true depth of attraction lies far beyond what meets the eye. It's about how you make the other person feel. When they're in your presence, they should feel something deep within themselves shift. A sense of awe, of wanting to be closer to you, when you're at peace with yourself and no longer scrambling to prove anything, that attraction becomes magnetic. They are drawn to your energy in a way they can't quite explain. And it's a level of attraction that is not only lasting but transformative. What happens when you begin to pull away from the old patterns, the needy behaviors, and the desperate attempts for attention? You create space for something more meaningful. When you stop chasing, you start attracting. This is not a cliché. It's a truth that many overlook. People feel this shift and begin to recognize the change. They notice that you're no longer desperate for validation, and that alone is an incredibly attractive trait. But it's not just about the attraction. It's about the relationship that forms as a result of it. The moment you stop trying so hard, the dynamic changes. The connection deepens because it's no longer based on superficial exchanges or superficial needs. But let's explore this further. As you stand firm in your sense of self, as you allow your true essence to shine through, something incredible happens. People begin to treat you differently. They don't take you for granted. They don't expect you to always give, always bend, always accommodate. They start to respect you. And in that respect, something magical happens. The love and admiration they have for you are no longer based on what you can do for them, but on who you are at your core. This is when true intimacy begins to blossom. It's not rushed, it's not forced. It's a natural progression that comes from two people who are already whole and complete on their own, yet choose to come together. The relationship isn't about filling a void, it's about two people sharing their fullness with one another. You don't need the other person to complete you, they enhance what you already have. That's the key to lasting connections, the foundation of mutual respect, self-sufficiency, and shared energy. But what happens when you don't recognize this power within yourself? When you continue to chase after someone's approval or try to become what you think they want you to be, the connection begins to fray. The energy between you starts to feel off and the intimacy fades. It's not because there's a lack of chemistry, but because there's a lack of balance. The moment you start to lose sight of yourself, the other person begins to feel that. And eventually, they will pull away, not because they want to, but because the energy becomes one-sided. It becomes draining, and that's the quickest way to extinguish something that could have been beautiful. Here's the truth. The moment you stop needing, stop chasing, stop begging for attention, you unlock the power to form a relationship based on true connection. And that connection, it will not only survive, it will thrive. It will grow stronger because it's built on a foundation of respect, of shared energy, and of mutual understanding. When you know your worth, you give permission for the other person to meet you where you are. And that, my friend, is where the magic begins. So, the next time you feel the urge to chase, stop. Take a moment to center yourself. Know that you don't need anyone to affirm your worth. You are enough. And when you truly believe that, everything you've been seeking will begin to come to you effortlessly. The power is in your hands, and it always has been. I know what you're thinking. How can something so simple have such a profound effect? You've tried everything, haven't you, from being available at all times to carefully crafting your words, thinking you could change the rhythm of the connection. But here's the thing, you've been looking for the wrong thing all along. What if I told you that the one thing that could truly unlock the deep, unshakable connection you've been craving is not something you can chase or force? No, it's something far more powerful, something that lies in your ability to understand and embody one simple truth. Asterisk asterisk, the art of vulnerability. Asterisk asterisk, let that sink in for a moment. Vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's a secret weapon that most people are too afraid to use. It's the very thing that creates deep trust, real intimacy, and connection that feels as though it's been forged through time and experiences shared. You're probably asking yourself, how can letting my guard down really make a difference? But let me tell you, when you truly begin to embrace vulnerability, you create a space where the walls come down and something far more meaningful can grow. Think about the relationships that have truly impacted your life. They're the ones where you felt safe enough to drop the act, to stop pretending to be someone you're not. In those moments, you opened yourself to someone else, and in return, they reciprocated. The energy that flows when vulnerability is shared is nothing short of magnetic. It's that unspoken connection, that electric spark that happens when two people allow themselves to be seen. Not just the polished, perfect version, but the real, raw, and unfiltered side of themselves. Now, here's the catch. Vulnerability is a two-way street. It's not just about you opening up and exposing your inner world to someone else. It's about creating an environment where the other person feels safe enough to do the same. This is where many miss the mark. They pour themselves out, seeking deep connection, but they don't create the space for the other person to share in return. What happens then? The connection becomes one-sided, and without balance, it withers. So, how do you begin to create this sacred space where both parties feel comfortable enough to share their true selves? The first step is to stop hiding behind the mask of perfection. We've all been there, putting on a facade of having everything together, thinking that's the way to impress or keep someone interested. But what you're really doing is building a wall. The more you try to present a perfect version of yourself, the harder it is for others to truly connect with you. They're not connecting with the asterisk real asterisk you. They're connecting with an image you've created. The truth is, true intimacy is built on the courage to expose your flaws, to show your true self imperfect, messy, yet wonderfully human. But here's the twist. Vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or dumping all your emotional baggage on someone right away. That's not what I'm talking about. Vulnerability is about subtlety and timing. It's about letting down your guard slowly, allowing the other person to see the raw, unrefined side of you, piece by piece. It's about sharing in a way that doesn't overwhelm, but invites trust. When you allow someone to see your vulnerabilities, it opens the door for them to share their own, creating a natural bond that's impossible to fake. And what happens when that bond begins to form? The energy shifts. You stop looking for validation and start simply being. You're no longer trying to prove your worth. Instead, you're fully immersed in the connection you're sharing. There's no longer the need to constantly measure up, because the foundation of the relationship is built on something much deeper than external validation. It's built on trust, authenticity, and shared vulnerability. But there's another powerful shift that occurs when you embrace vulnerability. It forces you to face your own fears. When you allow yourself to be seen for who you truly are, you have to confront the parts of yourself you might have been avoiding. The fears, the insecurities, the things you didn't want anyone to know about you. But here's the beauty of it. The more you embrace these aspects of yourself, the more confident you become. You start to realize that your flaws don't define you. They add to the richness of who you are. And when you can accept yourself fully, others will begin to do the same. In relationships, vulnerability is the difference between surface-level connections and deep, meaningful ones. It's the key to creating a bond that goes beyond the ordinary. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you invite the possibility of deep emotional intimacy, and yes, that extends to every part of your connection. The moments you share, whether it's a glance, a touch, a shared silence, become imbued with meaning. They transcend the physical and become expressions of a connection that goes far deeper than what can be seen on the surface. But here's the kicker: vulnerability isn't always easy. It takes courage to expose your true self, to reveal your fears and uncertainties to another person. But think about this. What are you really afraid of? That they might not accept you, or that they might pull away? The truth is, the more you hold back, the more you protect yourself, the further you push away the very thing you desire: authentic, loving connection. Vulnerability may feel uncomfortable at first, but in the long run, it's the gateway to the kind of connection that lasts. It's what sets apart the fleeting from the everlasting. When you stop holding back, you give the other person permission to do the same. The walls begin to crumble, and the connection deepens. The more vulnerable you allow yourself to be, the more you create a space where trust and intimacy can thrive. It's an ongoing dance, an exchange of energies that continues to build as long as both parties are willing to engage. And in that space, something magical happens. You realize that vulnerability isn't a risk. It's a path to the deepest form of connection, a place where love and intimacy flourish, not because of what you give, but because of who you are at your core. And that, my friend, is where real magic happens.